some inspiration we required. Always hard work will not bring the result. We need some motivation how you can crack your PMP exam, and let's hear you about your PMP success. We all are so excited to hear your journey.
Sri Ankita,
Rahul,
Mr. Satish Kane,
Miss Chandra, Juliet,
many congratulations to you, Muhammad Salah, for clearing your PMP exam. Hey everyone, I'm here with yet another PMP success story. This is going to be informative, insightful, at the same time it's going to be inspirational. So if you are PMP aspirants, stay till the last. Definitely you will be getting lots of information, and of course you will be getting inspiration to continue your journey and get your PMP certification as well. I'm going to talk with one more person today. He has done his PMP certification recently. He is working as an independent consultant, having more than 15 plus years experience in different industries. He is none other than handsome and smart Abhibroto boss. So let's welcome Abhibroto boss on the screen. And very first thing, I would like to say you congratulations for your wonderful success in PMP exam.
Thank you so much, Samir. Thank you so much for that warm introduction.
It's always my pleasure to discuss with the people who is getting PMP success, and they are real inspiration for future PMP aspirants. So thank you so much that you have given time to connect with me today. Before discussing anything, of course, I would like to know more about you. So just brief about you.
So, Samir, just to summarize, I have been working as an independent consultant in the business research space. So prior to this, before 2019, I have worked with multiple other companies like SAI, SG Analytics, and FutureBridge. So I started working as an independent consultant in the year 2019, and I took up the PMP preparation in the year 2020, which was March 2020. And as you know that it took me almost 2 years because of a few things that have happened during the course of this preparation, things which have happened at my personal end. But then I would always like to thank you for supporting me during that phase, not only with a very strong study plan, but also solving the queries, but also the emotional side of it. So you were always there as a good friend of mine. I always felt when I spoke to you and there was a problem at my end, you always said that fine, the problem will go away and you will overcome it and we will be able to do it. So that was a very strong support coming in from a mentor like you.
Thanks a lot for this words. These are such words always give me confidence to keep doing hard work, keep supporting people, keep bringing success. So thank you so much for this kind words. As you said, you have initiated your PMP preparation in 2020 and you got finally success in 2022. So somewhere 2 years it took. In general, it took 2 years, but I would like to know how many months actively you have been into PMP preparation, because of course this is a PMP.
I would say
actively 2 years. It is not such a huge academic course.
Yes.
So actively, how many months, or even I can say weeks, because some people even get success and pass PMP in just 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So actively, how many days you have been into PMP?
I would say not more than 8 weeks. 8 weeks of complete effort which went through, where I dedicatedly spent time on the study plan that was shared by you. So the study plan was a very strong part of the foundation because it gave a very structured approach to approach to basically addressing the different points in which were required to be covered in the syllabus. Okay. So I would always say that it is very important to go through the study plan in a structured way and then look at it from the conceptual point of view. This exam is more based on the situational questions. Situational questions, when you read through the questions, you should be able to associate with the concept in place. So once you go through the study plan, what happens is you cover up the entire thing, you get a clarity on the concepts, but it does not happen at once. So what you do is you go through one chapter, clear the concepts, then you find that certain concepts are not very clear with you. You go back again to those concepts, read through them, understand them, and then you start solving the questions. And that's how you're basically able to get confidence. Once you start solving those questions and then you feel that yes, I am able to answer those questions, then you get confidence. So that is from the point of view of clearing the exam. But I would always emphasize on one fact, that it is very important to have a very clear understanding of the concepts, because once you clear the PMP, you'll have to use the concept in the real world. So focus on clearing the exam, that's what I would say, but then also focus on having a very strong conceptual base, which will help you after clearing the exam, to all the participants or aspirants who are looking forward to clearing the PMP exam.
Yeah, you are rightly said that doing PMP certification is not just set for adding 3 magical words with the name, but also we should use the learning in our practical project, right?
Yeah, that's very right.
And you said that study plan was really effective at giving you a structure that was close all your doubt, or you have a stop thinking what should you read, what should you know. So everything was there inside your study plan. That was really, you found effective and useful. So how did you use it? Because many people get the study plan and even they get revised multiple times. But the main important point is here the execution.
Exactly.
So how anybody can execute a study plan? If once a study plan is created, how anybody can execute right from beginning till they pass their PMP exam? So what is your opinion on that?
First thing that you'll have to do is to put a date. Put a date across the entire study plan and stick to the dates. So when you say that a particular concept or a particular chapter needs to be completed within 2 days, it should be completed within 2 days. It cannot go up to 3 days. So one part is the date setting. Once you do the date setting, your goal is fixed when you are going to give the exam. So you know that this particular date I am going to give the exam. Second part is I use the RITA 10th edition very rigorously. So I used it as a base. So whenever I used to have a doubt on a particular concept, I used to go to the RITA 10th edition book, look at the concept, review the concept if I have not understood anything, review it again and again so that it sets in my system. So that was one part of it. Second was maintaining the timeline, and then following the approach very rigorously. Once I have completed all the concepts, I used flashcards for some of the concepts. So what I used to do was, for all the concepts where I was not very clear, I used to put the flashcards and put an associator along with it. Associator means an image which helps you basically remember that particular concept easily or relate to that particular concept easily. So that basically helped in beefing up my knowledge base in terms of getting all the concepts together and then applying it to the questions. So initially I would say that initially when I started off and when I started solving the questions, I was not able to relate to the concepts immediately. But over a period of time, as I started solving the questions, and I took a two-pronged approach to solving the question. One was first thing looking at whether you are able to understand the concept or not of that particular question. Second is using the eliminator method. If you are able to eliminate the wrong answers, you are there with the right answer. And most of the times it will happen definitely. If you're clear with the concept, you will be able to do the elimination process correctly. And also another approach that I used was that when I read the questions, I started with the last part of the question. So mostly you'll get the gist of the question in the last part. Only if you don't get the gist of the question in the last part, then you can go ahead and read the story above. And this helps you in saving a lot of time when you are solving the questions in the exam. And I would also request the aspirants not to spend too much time on a particular question. If you find that, okay, I'm not able to get the answer to this particular question, move into the other question. Put it on review. If you put it on review, you will be able to, when you look at it from a cool frame of mind, you'll be able to sort it out rather than spending too much time on a particular question.
Super. So you have given here 3 very important strategy to solve scenario question. The very first strategy you have mentioned here, to understand the question itself by breaking down into individual sentences and combine all the sentences of the question, understand what exactly it is saying. It is emphasizing on future or emphasizing in past or in present, positioning to whom, project manager, scrum master, or not indicating any position. So first strategy to understand question itself what it is saying. Second strategy you have indicated using elimination method. That is really powerful strategy. Elimination method. And of course, elimination method you can't use unless you have good concept. So elimination method will be only working to those who is having a good concept about the contents. Then only they can be very close to the right answer. So of course, this is the second powerful strategy. And third strategy you have said, start reading question backward. Okay, so backward means why? Because the last line in the question set the tone of the entire question. And once you know the tone of the entire question, then you can read thoroughly the entire question and probably you can get one of the right answer. So 3 very powerful strategy you have mentioned here, that is really good for any future PMP sprints. Okay,
Yes,
so about PMP material, like there are multiple books available in the market. There are lots of mock tests also available in the market, right? So in perspective of PMP material, there are many people ask, can I read only PM book 7? Can I read only PM book 6? Or can I read both? Or can I read PM book 6, 7, Agile, written? What was your case? In perspective
Samir,
of reading
I would say the base for me was the Rita 10th edition. I used that as a base. And because the Rita 10th edition also has a few additional concepts which are not there in the PMBOK 6th edition. So it helps you gain a lot of external perspective also. So Rita 10th edition, PMBOK 6, for certain concepts, Agile Practice Guide and Kim Heldman questions is what was my go-to material for the entire PMP preparation.
Okay. So, do you think without reading PMBOK guide, people can pass PMP exam?
No. You need to read it, but then you do not need to read it in from a line-to-line perspective. You need to read it from a concept perspective.
Okay. Which PMBOK guide you should suggest here?
Samir, I used the PMBOK 6th edition because the PMBOK 6th edition was yes. Another thing which I used was the process guide. So process guide can be used for basically it is an updated version, I would say, of the PMBOK 6th edition. So it gives you the details about the processes. So that is also one thing. But then I use the PMBOK 6th edition and the
Okay.
Agile Practice Guide
So you did not read PMBOK 7th edition, which is already in the market.
No, I didn't.
So people who is watching this video should note that even without reading PMBOK 7, Abhibroto was cleared PMP. If he has cleared, then why you can't, right? So even you can pass your PMP exam just following one of the guide, PMBOK 7 or PMBOK 6, along with Agile. Plus, of course, from wherever you are taking training, you'll be getting material aligned with PMP exam content outline. So I hope that would be quite enough. If you are taking training, there will be lecture, plus there will be material from the training institutions. Plus, if you are referring any of the PMBOK 6 or 7 guide along with Agile, that would be quite enough.
Samir, also I wanted to ask one part of it which I missed. So another thing which actually helped me a lot was the PMP mastery. We had those classes. The classes where you had actually covered the concepts in great detail. So once you go through those concepts in great detail and then you read through the material, then it becomes easier. So that is also a very important part of the preparation, because it gives you a very strong perspective with a story. You are able to look at the concept, associate with a story. So once you associate with the story, you are able to remember the concept. So that is also something I believe which helped me a lot.
Okay.
I actually missed it, which was a very important part of the preparation.
Okay, and specifically about mock question, people think they should solve 10 to 20,000 questions to pass PMP exam. Is it true?
No, Samir, I would say 1,000 questions. If you solve 1,000 questions, it more or less covers the entire conceptual base of PMP, and you get a hang of it. See, it's not about, I would not say that you'll get the same question in the exam, but it is about if you are able to understand the approach of attacking that question and solving that question. So that approach, you get a very good clarity once you solve at least 1,000 questions. And I would say some people can do it in 800 questions also, but I solved 1,000 questions, and I felt that it was good enough for anybody to attempt the exam and then clear the exam.
So specifically, how many total full mock test you have practiced before taking your PMP exam? And how much you scored in your full mock test on an average? That is very important, because people think
I'll be very
more
honest.
than 80%, then they will go for exam.
I'll be very honest with you on this, Samir. Believe me, I have done 5 mock tests, and on those 5 mock tests, in some I actually got 62. 62 was the lowest score which was there for me, and then it ranged between 62 and 67. I never went ahead and scored 70, 75, 80, nothing. In fact, in one of the mock tests, I actually scored 56% also.
Really?
Yes.
So what was your maximum score?
Maximum score was 67%.
And you crushed the PMP exam?
Yes.
Can you tell what is the source name of that PMP mock questions?
The source name is you have the PMP Mastery course shared the mock questions with me. So that was one part of the mock test, and second was Kim Heldman. The Kim Heldman mock tests, they were actually very good. Very the situational questions were quite critical, and they were difficult. So when I actually was looking at the questions in the exam, I was getting a feeling, oh, these are pretty easy questions. You can get a very good idea about the answer once you read through the questions, because Kim Heldman, the questions are quite lengthy. So you
Yes.
have to actually read through those questions and then understand the concept, and then there will be contradicting answers which will be there. So you have to do away with those contradicting answers. So, but then it prepares you very well. It
Mhm.
prepares you very, very well for the PMP exam. And I would also say the aspirants should not get disheartened if they get a lower score and think, no, I wouldn't be able to clear it. The only thing is the focus should be on concept and approach. How do you approach that particular question? And if you are able to get the concept and the approach and the answer correct, that's
Okay,
it.
great. So let's move on to your PMP exam part. Before one day, have you done any special preparation?
I was just looking at the flashcards because I had identified which were the problematic concepts for me. I just looked at my flashcards. I reviewed those concepts. I didn't do too much of reviewing. I only reviewed those concepts where I felt that this is something this I need to review. Otherwise, I was very calm on the day before.
Great. So people should not stress themselves before one day. As much as you can sleep and just take light food and just go outside, be cool, try to be relaxed, right? Even if it is
Yes.
possible,
Right.
watch your favorite movies or listen songs, watch any
In fact,
serial that you like.
I actually watched a movie before the day before. I
Okay.
actually watched the
Which movies
MS
are that?
Dhoni movie. MS Dhoni.
Okay.
So I watched MS Dhoni,
Okay.
and I was
Okay.
like, fine, no
Inspiring
matter what
movie.
happens, yeah, no matter what happens, I'm going to give my
Stay cool.
best. Give your best,
Hmm.
and then just forget about it.
Forget
So,
about result.
yeah.
Yeah. That is the one of the mantra of Dhoni. He always calm in every situation.
I also remembered one of his interviews where he said it very specifically. You focus on the process,
Hmm.
and the result will happen. So,
And it is fact. It is fact.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if your process is correct, then your result will happen for sure.
All right, Abhibroto. So moving ahead, my next question to you is: how did you manage time during your PMP exam? Is there any specific strategy you have in your mind? Would you like to share with the people?
So, the approach was the part of the approach was first reading across the question, not spending more than a minute in a particular question. And in fact, in certain cases, I tried to do it within 40 seconds or so. And in some cases, it went up to 1 minute 20 seconds. But then, having a very specific target in mind while you are reading through the question. Reading the last part of the question, trying to get the answer, elimination method, cross all the wrong answers, select the right answer. That is the approach that I followed. And also, I would say I was constantly looking at the clock also. After at least 15 to 20 questions, I was looking at the clock as to whether I was maintaining the average time or not. I know it was too frequent. One shouldn't be looking at the clock so frequently, but then it helped me to be in control. I felt a sense of control that yes, things are going fine till now. So that was my approach.
Okay. So that was for time management, that you kept looking on the clock, plus also making sure that you are not spending more than a minute every question. So it is a quick tips for anybody looking for time management during PMP exam. Good. And I remember, and yes, and the next thing is, have you solved all questions within time?
Yes, all. So it was the last question which I clicked on the option, and the exam was over. So it was like that.
And what happened next?
Then there was a message which came that congratulations for clearing the exam.
So did you believe in that? No.
Initially not till I got the result. So I was more concerned.
99% people don't believe when they see congratulation on the screen.
Yes.
So you are also naturally one of them.
Yes, and I was under huge stress, and you know it, Samir. I called you and I told you that fine, congratulations has come, but
I remember until you got a result on your dashboard, you did not even announce.
yes,
So I remember it.
I would say it was crazy because I saw the congratulations, then it went off, and I was asked to fill the feedback. I filled up the feedback, and then I realized that after the feedback I didn't get anything. So I was like, okay, I got congratulations, but I gave the feedback, but after that there is no result. So I was like, I went into the login page for PMI, and then they said that it will come after 24 hours. So those 24 hours, believe me, Samir, were one of the trickiest and slowest going 24 hours, I would say, of my whole life, because I felt that not a single hour was going by and I was constantly looking into it, logging into it, and trying to see if somebody gives me the result early, which doesn't happen because it's a process. It will happen in 24 hours only.
Yeah.
But then yes, it was an ecstatic feeling once I got the result, because I for a moment I was taken aback to all those times when I really felt like giving it up. And so in most cases, I would say people who do it for a longer period of time, they will have a lot of times when they'll feel that no, it's not going to happen. I put in a lot of effort, lot of time, it is not happening, let me not do it. All these negative thoughts come. But the best thing is to keep believing and having a mentor like you. It also helped me a lot because you gave me a positive mindset. If it had been a negative mindset, I wouldn't have really pursued it to this long. So I would say have positive people around, have a positive talk with yourself. Even if things are tough, just believe that it's going to happen, and it will happen.
Appreciate your hard work, and yes, this is a kind of motivations for the viewers. So people, this video is not only informative, but you see lots of motivation going to you. So keep watching till the last. There are a lot more things you will be getting out of this video. Yes, so Abhibroto, finally you got your PMP certificate on your dashboard, and then only you have announced. So as you said, it was long waiting night.
Yes.
So anyhow, your hard work was paid off. And yes, last, you want to share any tips, strategy, any mantra for the future PMP aspirants? So please go ahead.
Something that I actually followed, it might seem a little bizarre, but then I believe that if you say it to yourself that I will clear it, and you see it from that point of view. So what I did was, before I started my exam, I have got a diary, and I wrote there that I will clear the PMP exam above target. I wrote it 10 times, and I closed my eyes, and I tried to basically visualize that I have got the exam in front of me. I'm looking at every question and I'm knowing the answer of each and every question. So I went through that phase for all the questions in the PMP exam. And when I actually started off the exam, I somehow believed that I knew the answers, and it kept happening. It kept happening, except for some 5-6 questions. I was not stuck in any of the questions. So this is something called as a law of attraction. So if you tell your mind that it's already happened, it will happen for you. So that's a very personal belief that I would share with you, Samir. But then
this is something.
it helped.
This is really great thing you have shared now. Affirmation is really powerful. You have visualized that you are going to pass PMP with above target, and you see you have passed with above target.
Yeah,
So
that's
this is
correct.
really, affirmation is really powerful. And if you remember, in my all batch day one class, I always used to say people, please give me a tentative date and visualize you are PMP certified.
Yes.
So power of affirmation, you can't underestimate. And yes, as you said, law of attraction, both are really powerful. Both are
So
really
that
powerful.
is
And
that
you
is
are
something.
here example.
Yeah.
So people, whoever is watching this video, believe in your capability. Keep doing hard work, and affirmation will be adding top of, this law of attraction will be adding additional power to your own capability. So by combining your capability, by having affirmation, law of attraction, definitely you will be all the way pass any race in your life. Believe me, here is the example, Abhibroto. Thank you so much, Abhibroto, for joining me and sharing all the insights. Really, it was great conversation and insightful, informative, and as I said in the beginning, it is really inspirational. So thanks once again for coming here and sharing all your insights about PMP exam.
Also like to thank you, Sameer, for giving me the opportunity to come here on this platform and share my experiences in my preparation for the PMP. And I would just leave the aspirants with just one statement: if you believe you can, you can. So just believe in yourself.
Great, I like it. So, if you really enjoyed this conversation and if you feel that something hit you, then continue your PMP journey. You will be also become PMP certified like Abhibroto. And yes, if you haven't subscribed this channel, then do consider subscribing it, because we keep bringing such an amazing PMP success story on this platform. Thank you once again, and we will see you with another inspirational, insightful, informative video.